We're going to talk Cavs for a second. We'll save, Bull, just to your pleasure, we're going to save the draft talk for tomorrow. We're going to save. I know you're really invested in these second-round picks the Cavs have, but we're going to save that for tomorrow. Instead, we're going to talk about a little extra nugget we got on a rumor that was something we discussed yesterday. We talked about the Kevin Durant trade yesterday. He obviously got traded to the Houston Rockets. The Cavs were listed as a mystery team in that discussion. Kevin O'Connor of Yahoo Sports was on a podcast with Tom Haberstroh, who has been on this very program before, talking about what he had heard as a potential package the Cavs put together for Kevin Durant. And he said Darius Garland was involved. So this is Kevin O'Connor on the Kevin O'Connor podcast, giving a little reference to what I just mentioned. Take a listen.
If Evan Mobley was on the table, I'm not saying he would be on the table, but if Cleveland was
on that note, Gambadoro did say to me on the podcast earlier that the Cleveland Cavaliers were one of the sleeper teams for Kevin Durant. That at least shows they have a willingness to take big swings. I heard that they offered Garland in that deal for Kevin Durant. Garland is not Evan Mobley. But to your point, if they were to think about something like that, they're at least, when exploring a KD deal, they've at least shown a willingness to think big and go for a big star player. So maybe they would. That's all I'm adding to that.
So Kevin O'Connor put that out there. No one else has kind of echoed it, but when you looked at the potential deals to make the money work, it either had to be Garland and a little less or Allen and a little more to make the money even remotely close. But Tyvis, I'm curious, as the number one Darius Garland protector on this podcast, if you were DG, how would you feel right now knowing that you were potentially on the trading block for another superstar caliber player in Kevin Durant?
I mean, this the problem with us pro athletes is that we mix business and personal feelings together all the time. So probably I'm gonna say he's probably hurt by this because he's thinking, I've been here before everybody. I've been here probably the longest out of everybody on this team, and I'm the guy that y'all, Jason and them reported last year that he was going to want out and all of these things, and he decided to nip that in the bud, sign an extension, all that, blah, blah, blah. And to know that they're trying to trade him because they think Kevin Durant is which he is. He is. That's also the thing that he got to realize, like, Kevin Durant would be better suited for the team than you. That's a fact. But he's going to be hurt by it. Now, the thing is, he could be petty. He could be like, y'all wanted to trade me, then I'm going to request this trade. He could pull that move. I hope that's not the case. I hope that he's like, you know what? This means I need to lock in, I need to come out here. I'm still here. I'm still with my guys. I still love this team. And you can't let the upstairs affect what you do on the court. And that happens so much in sport. It was something that I even struggle with, to where it's like the decisions from not the coaches, not the teammates, it's the people upstairs. You got beef with them, so now it's messing up your mood in the building, and now you got, attitude towards people that ain't got nothing to do with it. So he's got to block that out and realize, listen, I'm still here. I still got a chance to be a really good player in this system. And when he get back, he got to go to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kevin Durant, bro. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's KD.
It's like, when you in the league, like one of the things about the NBA is that there's a lot of people that are NBA players can be sensitive sometimes. Because there's only 12 of them, and the way that they develop and the way that they go about the AAU circuit, it's elitism. Like, it's to a point where they don't even really play pickup games like that with guys in the street. High school kids now say, I don't play with guys in the street. I don't play on the playgrounds. I just play my thing. It's almost like they've been sheltered to a point where it's like everybody feels like somehow that they're like, I guess, untouchable, but they should know. And you get to an age where you understand there's only 3 or 4 guys that get that off. And if you're not one of those 3 or 4 guys that's untouchable, like, your name is going to be mentioned in certain things. That is just what it is. Like, if it's Kevin Durant, LeBron James, you got guys like Luka, Steph Curry's. Those are the guys, bro, anybody wants those guys. Like, so, for you to get upset and say, well, it should be an honor, right? If they said, yo, We trading G. Bush from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show for Stephen A. Smith. Hey, man, I got traded for Stephen A.
I wouldn't like that. I'd be pissed about that.
Hey, listen. I would be mad. I just say, hey, listen, man. I got traded for one of the best dudes in the game.
Hey, when the Seahawks cut me for Devin Hester, you think I was that upset?
I'm like, oh, Hester. I would have did the same thing.
What I said, I would have did the same thing.
I understand.
Is that really true? They cut you for Devin Hester?
Yes.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? My rookie year, so we went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we didn't have no punt returner because Tyler Lockett broke his leg.
Yeah.
So going into the playoffs, they needed a return.
Why couldn't they just put him on IR?
I don't know. But Sherm was the one that was taking the return. Every game, he would fair catch the punt return. So
when he broke his leg, were you worried you were going to lose your roster spot?
it was. That's
even
offense. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Okay.
they call up somebody from one of the receivers from practice squad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good.
Yeah.
And they was
sucks.
like, listen, Tyvus, we don't have a returner for the
Yeah.
playoffs, and we need a returner, so we're going to cut you for Devin Hester. And I looked at John Snyder and I said, you cutting me for Devin Hester? I would have did the same thing.
They could have cut somebody else for crying out loud.
That's the Hall of Famer.
Why didn't they put the other one on IR? What the hell happened?
At this point, I want the 6 corner / 4th safety. Yeah, I would cut me too. I ain't mad at it.
Nah, you had a good that was nice
Devin,
of you.
if you would have told me it was some scrub, I'd have looked at him crazy.
Yeah, but like, Hall
Devin
of Famer.
Hester. Like, what am I supposed to say?
Hall of Famer, bro. But when I look at it, I just, I don't want people to get it in their mind like people. We are saying that Darius Garland ain't a good basketball player. I just think people don't realize that watch the Cavs is that when you get into the pantheon of where they're trying to get and they win all those games and they're a good team and you see, okay, they're on the cusp of trying to make the championship, you got to understand that the pressure ratchets up. Like, go back and look at 2016 at the level of pressure LeBron put on all his other pieces. Kevin Love openly talks about it.
Yeah.
He said it was affecting my mental health. Like, you look at Dion Waiters getting jettisoned. You look at Kyrie Irving having to turn himself into an assassin because he was just oblivious of, hey, I'm the face of the franchise. And LeBron came and said, it ain't about you being the face no more. It's about we need you to get to this point so you can hit the shot we need you to hit to win this championship. And they got a lot of veterans in here. So it's not that we don't like Darius Garland or we don't think Darius Garland is talented. He's a very talented player. However, when you get up here and you're trying to win a championship, the scrutiny is ratcheting up and the expectations and people, if you're not getting it done, people going to want to move you out. That's just the way it is.
By the way, our guy Haleem Yousef, who sends us chats a lot.
Great dude.
Haleem was in the chat this morning when I was doing my Bet Rivers podcast, and he called me out for allowing my anger with the Cavs to cloud my judgment about the team. And I admitted that it was true.
Right.
What's that?
He's right.
And I think I've even admitted that before.
Yeah.
And I admitted it again today. And so I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, I've been pretty hard on the Cavs.
I've calmed down a little bit.
Some of it fair, some of it maybe over the top.
Is it because that you calm down because there will be no Dame Lillard, no Tyrese Halliburton, and no Jason Tatum next year in the East?
Well, you can't trade Garland. Here's the thing.
Is that why you calm down?
Nobody's trading for Darius Garland with this injury.
I'm just asking why you calm down.
Well, actually,
just because time.
If the Suns were able, and they were not, Kevin Durant picked his destination. That was abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Whatever the Cavs put together that Darius Garland would have been the centerpiece of is a significantly better return than what they ended up getting from Houston.
Right.
Which tells me Kevin Durant was saying, I'm not re-signing.
Right, they didn't get much, right?
They got Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, a first-round pick this year, and 5 second-round picks.
Right, and their first-round pick this year is going to be not worth anything because Houston's going to be a playoff.
No. It's number 10. In tomorrow's draft.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, that's
pretty good
supposedly
draft.
It's a really good draft, right?
Yeah, it's Phoenix's pick back. It was actually Phoenix's pick.
So that pick could be that guy could end up being a very good player.
It could.
But ain't Jalen Green and Devin Booker the same person?
They have they have 7 shooting guards right now.
Aren't they going to trade Jalen Green?
They're probably going to trade Jalen Green.
So we got to see what it ends up being.
But I'm just saying, when I heard this report yesterday, and once again.
But what were the Cavs giving up besides Darius? Nothing, right? I mean, what else do they have?
You still have to add 15, 16 million just to make the money work. At first, they would have to shed some salary. Adding Durant to this roster, from a basketball standpoint, made perfect sense. Like,
the Cavs would have been.
From a financial standpoint, to pay the money he needs, to pay Donovan, to pay Evan, and Jarrett would not have been in that deal if Darius was the primary part of the package. You would have had basically 6 veteran minimum guys to fill out the rest of your roster. Like, it would have been those 4 and nobody. It was really difficult from a financial standpoint.
I will say that, Kevin Durant is one of my the players I like the least. I just can't. I'm not a Kevin Durant fan at all.
You hate Kevin Durant?
Hate Kevin Durant.
Why?
He's so good.
I hate him. Only thing I hate about him is that he went to Golden State. He wasn't raised right. That's what I said when he made that decision.
Yeah, that was lame. But whatever.
Outside of that, I don't have no.
I don't know. He's just. I feel like he's a whiner. And he's always blaming the media for stuff.
By the way, this is one of the biggest heel turns. Kevin Durant was universally liked 100%.
I know,
in OKC.
Ever since he went to Golden State, he's been universally disliked. That being said, as much as I don't like him, of course you make that trade if you're the Cavs. And if you're Darius Garland, I get it. I'm gonna be a little hurt, but it wasn't like they were trading him just to trade him, as we've talked about before. If you could get Kevin Durant, even though there's some pitfalls with Kevin Durant because of his age. Yeah, but, there's no guarantee it's going to work out. He's old. He can be a pain in the ass sometimes. He's been on, he's been on a lot of teams now at this point, hasn't he? 4?
Durant, OKC.
Golden
State.
The Nets.
The Suns, and now the Rockets. It's 15.
So that's what it was 4 going in, so we don't know if it's going to pan out, if it's going to work, but the potential upside if you had a big 3 of Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley, forget about it. The Cavs, if it went right, could easily win a champ, and you'd actually have a player that's won a championship.
This is random, but do you know at some point SGA is going to get traded to the Rockets?
Why?
Because all of OKC stars get traded to the Rockets.
You're right. They do. They
don't go direct. He didn't go directly to the Rockets.
Who?
Durant didn't.
No, but Harden got traded to the Rockets. Westbrook got traded to the Rockets.
Right.
Durant
so eventually, at some point,
he's gonna go to the Rockets.
Man.
Is he gonna get? By that point, he'll be fat and bad at basketball.
You think he'll be fat?
No, James Harden. I was thinking about James Harden.
Yeah,
and he's not even bad at basketball.
One of the most overused.
And he was a 2-time MVP there. So
one of the
Did
most
he deserve any of those MVPs?
Bars in rap of all time.
Probably not.
All you need to know.
I'm a franchise like a Houston Rocket.
But by the way, guys, all you need to know about how awful the NBA is when it comes to Hall of Fame, when it comes to MVPs and stuff, is that James Harden has won more MVPs than Kobe Bryant.
No, he only has 1. I was wrong. He's got 1.
James Harden has won as many MVPs as Kobe Bryant.
And how many MVPs did Shaq get?
2? Shaq?
Shaq should have had 10 MVPs.
LeBron should have 13.
13 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Shaq has just 1.
That's
crazy.
Shaq only won 1 MVP?
That's crazy.
Hey,
what's more egregious, Shaq having 1 or Kobe having 1?
Well, they played at the same era, so
But they only won 1 each.
But it was during LeBron won a couple during Kobe's prime.
Miss me with that.
Duncan won a couple
What are you
during.
talking about? Kobe was in the league a number of years before LeBron.
I know.
How
But I'm
you
saying LeBron won
McNugget.
during Kobe's.
Steve Nash won 2.
that was
I know.
wild.
Steve Nash
Steve
shouldn't
Nash
have 2.
won 2?
Steve is 2, yeah.
That's
Nash has
insane.
Really? I thought he won 1 over Kobe, and I thought that was the only
guys
one.
who, no offense to our friend Jason Lloyd, the guys who vote on the NBA awards are the worst. They are the worst. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
I will say you this: besides the fact that the baseball people don't let the steroids guys in,
you can't. A lot of guys do.
Mark McGuire should be in.
But I think the baseball
Not enough,
dudes,
though.
baseball dudes are the most accurate when it comes
100%.
to the Hall of Fame voting.
Yes.
Mark McGuire should be in.
Besides,
This guy's more egregious, better than him.
yeah, but the football, but the guys who vote for NBA,
Yeah.
they just they'll just straight up tell you, "Oh, I'm in my feelings. I think I just like him this year.
and
He's gonna win."
The NBA Hall of Fame is a total. It's not even. Why doesn't the NBA have its own Hall of Fame? It's a basketball Hall of Fame.
It makes no sense.
Like the baseball Hall of Fame and the football Hall of Fame are amazing.
Yeah,
The basketball Hall of Fame is a joke.
football.
no sense.
Football is the most. You gotta be good.
Football is the hardest one to get into.
No, actually, it's not even
I
close.
thought it was
Baseball's
baseball.
harder.
Baseball.
Yeah.
It's just that it seems like football's harder because there's more players.
Oh, that's probably a good point.
But
Yeah.
in football, they put 4 or 5 guys in at least every year. In baseball, it's usually like 2 or 3.
That's fair.
Sometimes even less.
Bull, tell us about Menu RX, and we're going to play a little round at Keep Cut Trade.